Most of us care a lot about our health, wealth, and happiness. In order to have good health, we need to look after our not only body, but what we find is holistic health is the health of body, mind, and spirit. For bodily health, we always say prevention is better than cure. And in order to prevent sickness, which nowadays about 90% sicknesses are psychosomatic in most of the countries, we need to really look after our mind. What has happened in the present society, industrialization and all, has been the cause of lots of stress. People expect human beings to work faster than machines, and so all the deadlines, competition, comparison, etc. creates a lot of stress, anxiety, worry, etc. And hence we find the incidence of high blood pressure, acidity, cancer, all sorts of diseases increasing. We human beings think that we are advancing a lot and we can cure so many diseases. And we have been able to cure diseases, no doubt true. Not only we are able to diagnose disease very fast, because 40 years ago when I was practicing medicine, you had to send blood for checking and it may take a few days to get the report. But nowadays, within 10 minutes you can get blood report. Operation also with laser therapy and keyhole surgery, everything has become so easy. So we are able to cure many diseases, but as we advance in medicine, science and technology, we find new diseases are coming up. And if you go to the root of all those diseases, it is found all these psychological causes like stress, anxiety are the main causes. So how to help ourselves? Because once one has disease, naturally they will have to do variety of treatments, and that's what we find even nowadays. There are variety of treatments. Not only Western medicine or allopathy, homeopathy, Ayurveda, then we have all alternative therapy, iridology and whatnot, acupuncture, acupressure. So we have Chinese medicine and Ayurvedic medicine and herbal medicine and naturopathy. All sorts of pathies are there. But what we find is human beings don't have sympathy for each other. The doctors also may not have sympathy for the patients. And in order to help myself, because whatever medicine we take, it will help us for 4-6 hours, Or if you take injections for some sickness, then it may help you for a few months, but the sickness may erupt again. And unless we treat the cause, we will not be able to cure ourselves completely. And the day by day, the problems are increasing. And violence, crime, fear, insecurity, all sorts of things are increasing in every part of the world. Though poor country will have their own problems, but rich countries don't have less problem. Every country has got that problem. And so what one needs to do is, apart from looking after our health by proper diet, exercise, and medicine, I found that meditation helps a lot, because research has been finding that people are under less stress if they are doing some sports or exercises regularly. Also, those who have loving friends and relations, they also can talk about their problem to their friends and relatives, and they also have less problem. Whereas those who are religious-minded pray God, take support of God, or meditation, they have much less stress because they take support from God, and also they worry less having that faith in God. Now, there are a variety of meditations which can help people. Nowadays, as we know, transcendental meditation, they give the mantra, so there is mantra meditation. Then Hare Krishna, devotional meditation or prayer. Then we have Hatha Yoga, which is very, very popular, especially in the Western world. Since last 30, 40 years, Hatha Yoga is practiced a lot in Western world. But meditation, or Raja Yoga as we call it, is the Raja of Yoga. Yoga Sanskrita means connection between myself and the Supreme or God. Or in other words, is a remembrance of God, which is very similar to the prayers. Now, Raja Yoga means the highest type of yoga. Raja is the king. And king of yoga, or Raj Yoga, or meditation helps to be the ruler of my mind. Because at the moment what we find is mind is ruling intellect and myself. Mind is running and racing everywhere in all different directions. And we can control the temperature of the room, but we can't control our own temperament. The mind many times races in many directions in one time. So I will say the accelerator of mind is very powerful, but not the brake. If you want to stop thinking about something, worrying about something, one is not able to stop it. So our mind is out of our control, and usually when we are angry, upset, stressed, what we do is blame circumstances, situation, that because of this situation, I am upset, I am worried, or my boss is putting pressure on me, my job is demanding, and that's why I am under stress. So what I suggest is, you can't run away from circumstances and people, but at least one can train the mind so that the mind, we are able to stop thinking when we don't want to think about, or we are able to focus on whatever job we are doing. And meditation is an art to help us to focus our mind, and also art to concentrate. It also helps not only relaxation, because the Raj Yoga that we practice in Academy of Better World is where we are focusing our mind on God, which I would say is one for Christians, Hindu, Muslims, all religion, Buddhist. God is not different from any other religion. Somebody may say Allah, we may say Shiva, somebody may say Buddha, somebody may say Christ or God. So God is one, universal God. And everybody says God is one, God is truth, God is love. So what one needs to do is focus on Almighty God. And by focusing our mind on that Almighty God, not only, because sometimes people think meditation means relaxation and do nothing. And many times they say, oh, we are so busy. I would rather run and race and do this and that job and help myself and my society rather than sitting and doing nothing. Meditation is not sitting and doing nothing. It's empowering myself, because once I have link with Almighty, naturally I am receiving that strength from Almighty. And what I have found is it helps us to become more loving, kind, sweet, tolerant, patient. Our judgment power increases, our discrimination power increases. If I am loving, naturally I will give cooperation to others, and as I give cooperation to others, I receive cooperation from others. And hence we are able to do our job quickly and more efficiently. Also, we get power to withdraw our mind from unnecessary thoughts, situations, circumstances, or worry. We receive power to face difficult situations because problems are there. We can't run away from the problems. Because sometimes people think, okay, meditation means go on Himalaya or some mountain or cave and meditate there and not to worry about the family and society. No. The aim of Academy is to stay in the family, to stay at home, carry on the responsibility, and at the same time empower myself so that I'm able to be what I want to be and not what circumstances and situation force me to be. Because if I'm influenced by circumstances, I say I'm worrying because I don't know what will happen to my job and I will have security of my job and finances and all. Because worrying doesn't help to solve the problem. Problem will be solved by getting the solution rather than thinking about problem. And what it has been found that stress is not because of problem, but it is because one thinks a lot, repeatedly thinking about that problem or negative thinking about worrying about something or other creates stress. And that's how we find that meditation helps to not only relax, but face difficulties in life with that power from Almighty or meditation. And meditation is a universal thing. Or remembrance of God is a universal thing. Only thing what is missing in our all different religions and devotion is many times we don't know who is God, where is He, what He is doing, and who am I, why I'm here, what is purpose of my life, why I'm associated with different types of people. All these questions in our life are not solved, and that's why we are not happy where we are or what we are doing or with whom we are associated. So happiness brings health. It is said that those who worry or those who have fear of death, they die many times before real death. Or those who are worrying, they are not healthy. And many times in many of the clinics, they make the patient laugh and say, okay, laugh, and you will be getting cured. Whereas sometimes some of the clinics, they allow dogs or some loving friend, so that receiving that love from friend or even dog can help patient to become better. So patient doesn't need only medicine, but it needs more of love, friendship, and happiness. So what I find is meditation helps us in that way. And in many cases what I have seen is those who have been meditating, the yogis, have a long life because they have disciplined their life. They eat at the right time, right type of a food, they sleep at the right time, wake up at the right time, and having that discipline in diet, sleep, activity, and not worrying. Their breathing and respiration and heart rate and everything remains normal, and they lead a long life. Also, what I've seen is those who have been meditating, not that they never become sick, but in sickness, they don't worry. And even the patients of cancer, I've seen many meditators, they defy doctors' prognosis because many patients were told, okay, you will live only 6 months, and I've seen meditators living more than 6 years, even after doctors' prognosis of 6 months. So not worrying and not having stress help them even to cure fast. Also, I've seen those who have been meditating are able to have willpower and inner happiness, and they are able to give up their wrong habits of drinking and smoking very easily. Because everybody understands that smoking cigarettes harms our respiratory system, lungs, bronchi, trachea, everything. People know it, but they are not able to give up drinking or smoking. And The reason being, they will say, oh, there is so much stress, I need to smoke or drink just to forget my problem. But in fact, they increase that problem by drinking and smoking, especially if it is too much alcohol, and smoking also over a long period of time, and too many cigarettes. So I found that they are able to give up because of that willpower. And pre-operative, post-operative, I have seen patients who have been meditating before operation. They are also very peaceful. I remember one lady in Canberra, she was being operated for cancer of the breast. And when she was taken to the operation theater, the ward boy said, oh, you look jolly happy. You are not worried? And she said, no. Next day after operation, the doctor came and said, how do you feel? She says, okay, I'm fine. The doctor asked, do you need any painkillers? She said, no, I'm okay, I don't need painkiller. And doctor said, don't be courageous. If you need painkiller, ask me. And she said, no, I'm fine. So she was smiling and greeting her friends and meeting everybody. So I found those post-operative also patients are self-sufficient, happy and peaceful. And healing also, I have seen many people having fractures of bone also healing within 4 to 6 weeks. So I find that meditation has helped a lot in conjunction with medicine, because we never say give up medicine, but we always say combine meditation and medicine and you'll become very healthy. Now, the meditation that we practice is a little bit different from every other meditation. Our meditation is based on understanding myself and God. Who is meditating, I should know, because we say I all the time, but when we say I, we usually have the picture of this role that I'm playing, or the name, or bodily form, or everything. But in fact, the realization needs to be that I am a spirit or a soul, and this is my body, and through this body I'm playing the role of whatever I'm playing. So knowing myself and knowing Almighty, it becomes easy to meditate. And we meditate with eyes open. So keeping the eyes open, we don't see around, because usually prayers and meditation is done with eyes shut, but then you can focus your mind only when your eyes are shut, which may be 5, 10 minutes, half an hour, or few minutes at a time. Whereas keeping the eyes open, what we find is if we are able to focus it in a right way and practice it, then over a long period of time, we are able to meditate whilst moving around, walking, doing our activities at home, we are able to meditate. And we start meditation with the 5 minutes, thinking, not try to not think. In the beginning, we think about something, just as in most of the prayers and all, you chant something or sing the prayer or everything. In the same manner, in the beginning, we allow the mind to think spiritual things or some qualities that I need to imbibe, peace or love or happiness, thinking about it and feeling that. And gradually, at final stage we reach is no thoughts and completely merge in the remembrance of God. And that helps us as we keep on meditating. We are able to store the power of peace, love, happiness, mercy, sweetness, whichever we need. And what I found is that has helped individual, family, because individually we find not only that it helps in health, but it also helps in good relationship, because if a person is nice and sweet and loving, the family relationship or relationship at work also improves. And also we find that mind being clear and concentration and decision-making power improving, they are more efficient in their job, and the business people are also more successful because of interpersonal relationship and decision power. And students are also benefited because their focus, concentration power increases, so they fare well in their examination. So it helps individually, in the family, and as people change morally, they become more honest and loving and cooperative and less greedy. So naturally, it helps in the moral standard of the society. And when one is peaceful, as you were told before, that if I'm peaceful, I will create peaceful family, then peaceful society, and gradually the world will be peaceful. So it helps in many ways. Om Shanti. Good afternoon. Respected all of us sitting here, and our chairperson and chief guest, Brahmakumaris. Present society, we have advanced a lot in science and medicine, technology, and we know about everything in the world. And whatever we don't know, if we want information, we have access to international informational technology. If you just press one button, and even the lay people will know about any disease and symptoms and treatment. So, education is there, but the problem is we don't know ourselves. We don't know the Creator. We can transform the heart of a person. So we can transform the heart. But many times we can't have heart-to-heart conversation with our family members. Either we are too busy or we don't care about that. We can control the temperature of the room, but we can't control our own temperament. We can communicate with anybody in any part of the world, but we may not be able to communicate our own problem to anyone. Transportation, communication, information, everything is available. But we can ask whether we are happier than our fathers and forefathers. We feel we have advanced a lot. what happens is, people think if people are wealthy, then they will be really very happy. And everybody is looking at who is having how much wealth and what sort of a house and what sort of a car and everything. But we find that even millionaires will not be happy because they want billions. So greed is increasing, greed for power, greed for wealth, position, etc. And we find that the basic needs of many poor people is also not met. And so there is no real happiness, and problems and situations are worsening day by day. Violence, crime, abuse of the drugs, abuse of the position, corruption. Everything is increasing day by day. And on the top of that, natural calamities, especially in this part of the world, cyclones and floods and Bengal, Bihar, Bangladesh, etc. So nature is also not cooperating nowadays with us human beings. And so what we need to do, as previous speakers have mentioned, day by day stress is increasing. We have to work long hours, and there is competition. Everybody is comparing oneself with others, competition with others, and relationship problems, health problems, wealth problems, everything is increasing. But I would say it is not the problems and amount of work that we are doing that is creating stress. But what creates stress is repeatedly thinking about those problems. And as doctors, all of you must be knowing how much our mind is so active. Somebody was saying the other day, my mind races in 10 directions at one time. And when they try to silence the mind during prayer or meditation, 1 minute is okay, but then it goes into 20 directions if you try to keep it quiet. So the mind is the one which is playing mischief, and what we need to do is make our mind our own friend. Because the job of mind is to think, feel, and memorize everything. But as I said, if we don't want to worry about past, we can't stop worrying about past or future. Because by remembering past sorrowful incidents, we are not going to be happy. We want happiness, but we can't forget the past. And the tricky mind is such that whatever we want to remember, we forget. And whatever we have to forget, we remember. The students who study a lot, they forget after studying so many times. But if somebody has been nasty to us and insulted us or defamed us 10 years ago, we won't forget all that. So we find that the mind is not really helping us, And even if we decide, okay, I don't want to get angry and upset, we still get angry and upset. And then we blame other people that because they are not doing what they are supposed to do, I got upset. So what we need to do to train our mind, just as if the body is weak, we advise people to exercise, have some nourishing diet, and have some vitamin capsules or hormones to make the body strong. In the same way, if I realize it's mainly my mind which is playing mischief, it's creating trouble for me, whether it's sorrow, whether it's worry, whether it's stress, then I naturally need to train my mind so that my mind is thinking whatever is essential. Otherwise, not only I'm wasting my time, but I'm taking sorrow from the situations. So this training of mind we call it meditation. And what one needs to do is spare every day some moment. And it's very nice amongst Muslims and religious people who spend some time, and there's a fixed time for prayers, and that's a very good habit. And some people also really try to find time for their exercise. In China, most of the time people, wherever they are, in Singapore, Malaysia, China, Hong Kong, what they do is they must spend some time for their exercise. And if you see early in the morning at 5 o'clock, they would be in the park doing the exercise. Because many times people say, I don't have time. I was recently in Vietnam, and people say, oh, Vietnamese people are very busy, we don't have time. And I ask them, do you have time to watch television? Yes. You have time for socializing and attending parties and all? Yes. Because we had last program on Saturday evening in Vietnam, Ho Chi Minh, and there was so much traffic on the road. So I asked, what is it? So she said, oh, it's a season for marriage. So traffic was so much on the road. So everybody had time to attend the functions and parties and marriage and social events and all. But they don't have time for themselves. If you tell them, okay, spend some time for exercise because stress can be relieved. By good exercise, it will help us to have not only relief of stress, but also we can have healthy body. Disciplining mind with diet also not everybody can do, because nowadays many people know what is good diet for them, what is good, not good diet for them. Knowledge is there. Even lay people know what to eat, what not to eat. But I remember when I was a medical student, our professor of medicine, he was very good and he used to teach us very nicely, so all students followed him in case history and all. And he used to tell us, okay, if anybody has peptic ulcer, avoid spirit, smoking and spices. So, because he used to speak in such a way, especially smoking and spices, everybody used to remember. And unfortunately, he himself developed peptic ulcer. But what happened was, because he was habituated to have 2 green chilies in his every meal, so he was teaching don't eat spices if there is peptic ulcer, but he himself couldn't stop it. And that's what happens. Even recently I was in India and I heard one of the best heart surgeons died of heart attack. And he knew he had problem with heart and he was advised to go through operation and he didn't do it. So that's what we find, that diabetic people, they know that they should not be eating sugar and sweet. But once we are there in a party and somebody offers nice cake, the mind will say, oh, I haven't had it for a long time, let me have it. I'll have one diabetes tablet more, but let me have it now. And that's what happens with everybody's mind. Mind feels like doing something, the intellect may say, no, it's not good for you, but still we have it. So, what one needs to do is really have that control over the mind, and that's what the aim of meditation is. Not only suppress mind, because if we suppress mind, suppose I suppress my anger or any negative emotion, what will happen is people will have, because of suppression, some sickness. But what we need to do is adopt a positive thinking, positive attitude. And naturally, if my thinking is positive, my emotions are positive, attitude is positive, my actions also will be elevated. Otherwise, most of us are so much prone to vices like ego and anger and greed and attachment and jealousy and carelessness and laziness, that we not only harm other people, but we harm ourselves. With anger, first thing that is hurt is me, and then whoever I will get angry will be hurt. So I spoil my relationship and my mind also becomes cloudy. I can't make decisions, or I don't feel like eating the meal, or I may not feel like even sleeping, or I may not get sleep when I'm in the fit of anger. But then we blame others. Rather than that, if I increase my power of tolerance, what will happen? Then I won't get angry, so I don't need to suppress my anger. And that's what the aim of meditation, not just to relax, because in meditation, I connect my mind with the Almighty or the Supreme, the Creator, and they see the strength. And that strength is not only relaxation or peace, but happiness, tolerance, patience, power to face difficult situations, sweetness, all these qualities that one needs in one's life to lead a peaceful and happy life that can be imbibed in an individual. And just as in our part of the world, what we do is, in the season when rice grows, then people stack rice in big containers so that it will last for 1 year or something, all the rice and wheat and all lentils and all this stuff for a while. In the same manner, rather than wanting to be peaceful in chaotic time and trying calm your mind, what we suggest is have a stock of peace, tolerance, patience, etc. with you, so that you are able to use it in the time of your need, and even if situation is chaotic, you can maintain that calmness. So that helps in concentration of the mind, it helps in moral upliftment of the individual meditation. Not only that, but because the mind is peaceful and happy, the individual is able to have better judgment power, decision power, discriminating power, power to have that cooperation with other people, giving cooperation, receiving cooperation. So all these virtues and power that we need in our daily life to make our relationship better, because if somebody is sweet, tolerant and peaceful, naturally the relationship with others will be also like that. And that will help by giving love and respect and cooperation to others, we receive love, cooperation and respect from others. The concentration power increases so for those who are studying. Their study is better, they are able to concentrate in study and they get good marks. Family people find better relationship. Doctors will find that their sympathy towards other patients increases. Because as we know nowadays, there are so many variety of medicine, allopathy, homeopathy, ayurvedic, naturopathy nowadays, and all sorts of other alternative like chiropractic and all sorts of things nowadays, acupuncture and acupressure and Chinese medicine and all sorts of medicines are there. But what we find that many times sympathy is missing. So love and sympathy helps patients to heal. Also, what we found is with meditation, those who whatever wrong habit, whether it's drinking, smoking, drugs, or gambling, any addiction, we find that increase of willpower and inner happiness helps them to give up those wrong habits. Heart patients also, we are experimenting in India in our university, where coronary artery blockage patients are helped with meditation, exercise and diet. And many have been cured by that, by just that simple practice, and their arteries have opened. Also, in many hospitals, doctors treat patients and just telling them to be happy, laugh and enjoy friendly company, etc. And as we know, now also helps patients to become better. But with meditation, many people have practiced. And in Australia, we have one meditator who has started his own natural farm where he teaches meditation, vegetarian diet, and exercise and fresh air. And he himself cured of sarcoma. And he is helping many cancers also with meditation, also many HIV/AIDS patients also. They are, at least their lifespan help of meditation. So, medically also I found that it has helped a lot of people. But in a day-to-day life also, many people have taken a lot of benefit with that improved mental ability, concentration, and improved nature. And meditation is something universal. It's not based on any religion. So it's just sitting quietly and connecting with the source of energy, the Almighty, and receiving that strength and practicing daily, not once in a while, and not once in a day. We recommend the practice as much as possible. And the way we practice meditation in our organization is overnight meditation, sitting quietly but overnight, and at some time we are able to give them positive spiritual thoughts to focus on certain quality, and that helps them to feel that quality. But later on they meditate by themselves, so soft music or commentary helps them. But then we create our own thoughts. And in the beginning we had thoughts, but at the end the aim is to be going beyond thoughts, beyond just having that feeling of being surrounded by peace or love or happiness or relaxation, etc. Lost from this world, material world, with all different worries and problems. So this meditation has been practiced all over the world in the more than 8,000 branches around the world we have. Out of that, about 800,000 students are practicing it regularly, but millions have taken benefit from this meditation. And as I said, they are from all different parts of the world with all different language and color and religion and all, having this awareness we are